I think we're pretty good. All right. Oh my God. I've been talking about doing something like this mostly to myself for a long time, but also to some other people. You know, mm, here and there. Uh, I've wanted to do a choose your own adventure book for a long time, and some people told me it was a fucking stupid idea, but I don't give a shit. I've loved choose your own adventure books since I was a kid, and honestly, I haven't read through one in a long time. We used to do that thing where we would just read it straight through like it was a novel, and it wouldn't make any fucking sense, but we would do it. And so here we are. We're gonna play this one through correctly. Let me give you the story in case you didn't see my video on YouTube that really briefly explained it. I was putting up Christmas decorations that you can see all around me. But as I was digging them out, I noticed a small panel in the closet behind where my decorations were. I don't know why Twitch still says I'm offline. It's weird. I hope I'm fine. A small panel in my closet. This is a fucking true story. And so I moved the panel across, and I shined the light in there, and there was like I saw a fishing pole and a baseball bat and some old like ceiling tiles and shit, and it just kept going. So I was like, well, what the fuck? What is this? So I sent my son in there. You fucking go crawl back there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Watch out for nails. And he came back out with this: Wizards, Warriors, and You, Book 2, Siege of the Dragon Riders. I didn't realize it was a choose your own adventure book at first, but I do now. So I'm just gonna go over it a little bit, and then we'll start. I don't know if we're gonna finish it tonight or not, but maybe we will. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to show it to you and read it. Fierce dragon riders are destroying the kingdom. You must fight these powerful warriors and the fire-breathing dragons they ride, or the kingdom will be lost. You must choose now. Will you be the wizard or the warrior? As the wizard, you will take with you the book of spells. You will be master of all its mysterious magic. As the warrior, you will take the book of weapons. Its complete arsenal is yours to use with your legendary skill, magic, or the sword. Whichever you choose, play the game wisely, and the glorious legend of the wizard and warrior will live on. Alright, so if you're watching in the chat, I'll give you a couple seconds to figure it out while I flip through the book. If you want me to go wizard, type wizard. If you want me to go warrior, type warrior. I'm going to read the intro page here. I'm going to try to get as much of this book down as possible. To give you a little time to catch up to me in the chat there, Wizards, Warriors, and You is a game of fantasy role-playing as well as a book. In each adventure, you will choose to play the game as either the wizard or the warrior. I've tried to get it in frame there. Wearing the wizard's robes, you will summon up magical spells to fend off your enemies. Carrying the warrior's sword, you will use your strength and brilliance in battle to prevail against all challengers. There are dozens of adventures in this book. If you choose to play the role of the wizard, all of the mysterious spells in the book of spells at the back of this book will be at your command. Use them to guide the wizard past peril after peril. Then close the book and start all over, this time as the warrior. Try your skill with all of the weapons listed in the Book of Weapons, also found at the back of this book. No matter which role you choose to play, you will face new challenges, battle surprising foes, and make life or death decisions on every page. So, I don't know if I should be, if I should have a fucking notebook or not, to keep track of spells or weapons or any of that shit. But I did just turn the page, to the other Avon books in the Wizards, Warriors, and You series. I don't know if you can see who wrote book 1. That would be R.L. Stein, who wrote it apparently in November of 1984 and later came to fame with one of my favorite book stories as a kid. Chillers. No, it wasn't Chillers. Goosebumps. He did write Chillers, though, didn't he? I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right. So, should we just let it happen? Let it go? Let it roll? Let's do it. I'm ready. One question, though, before I get going. Would you be interested if we did this all in wizard form and then went and did warrior or vice versa? Or do you just want to play through it once and that'll be the end of it? It's up to you. You just let me know. You just let me know. All right. Here we go. Let it be known that the amazing tale of all that came to pass for the wizard and the warrior in their battle against the dragon riders is true. The adventure began on a cloudy autumn day in the 10th year of the reign of King Henry, in the meadow outside the walls of Silvergate, his castle. The wind blew across the tall grass of the meadow as the wizard and the warrior stepped forward to join the rest of King Henry's subjects. It was the day before the harvest, a day of solemn prayers, followed by celebration. As the chanting of the priest floated on the wind, a cloud spread its darkness over the sun, and a chill covered the crowded meadow. A rain today would surely slow the harvest, the wizard said, quietly to his companion, his eyes surveying the sky. But we have much to be thankful for, the warrior answered, ignoring the cold wind that blew against his ceremonial armor. The crops are plentiful this year. No one will go hungry. The wizard looked toward the large barrels of wine, carried to the meadow for the day-long celebration that would follow the priest's blessings. And I believe that no one will go thirsty either, he said, a smile crossing his unusually serious face. The priest finished his melodious prayers and stepped back. King Henry stepped forward to speak his official pronouncement of the harvest. He raised his hands as greetings to his subjects, but he didn't get to say a word. The dark clouds suddenly turned darker, and the wind picked up. The clouds seemed to swirl about, gray upon gray, black upon gray, twisting, undulating, faster and faster. All eyes were on the sky now. What storm was this that threatened to interrupt the celebration? "Look! Someone rides the clouds!" a farmer yelled, his arm tightening around the shoulder of his frightened wife. Figures appeared in the swirling, twisting clouds, giant figures that resembled men, then monsters, then men astride monsters. There's a picture here, I want you to see it, describing the scene. Clearly you'll see men, monsters, and men upon monsters. "What monsters are these?" the warrior cried, reaching for the sword of the golden lion, which was always at his side. Closer, the giant figures loomed, shadows against shadowy clouds. The sky rumbled. The rumble became a roar that shook the meadowland. "Dragons!" several terrified people screamed at once. The sky above the kingdom was darkened now, not by clouds, but by an army of gigantic winged dragons. And on each flying beast rode a warrior in black armor, carrying a spear of black. "Warriors who ride atop dragons," the wizard cried. "Is this magic? Has some evil sorcerer bewitched my eyes?" His question was answered quickly. The dragons and their fierce riders were real. The dragons landed in the farmland that stretched beyond the meadow and roared a menacing greeting. As King Henry and his subjects watched in horror and fright, the giant beasts trampled the ripe crops. Urged on by the warriors who rode them as if they were horses, they smashed and burned the wheat, the barley, the vegetables that had been grown with such care. All were flattened beneath their deliberate footsteps, and then turned to ash by their fiery breath. The king's warriors stood frozen in amazement as this army of monsters and men destroyed all of the crops of the Northlands. "We shall return," a warrior's voice called from atop a heaving, hissing dragon. "This kingdom and all kingdoms shall be ours." The dragon riders turned their beasts, 200 beasts at least, treading once again over the crops they had already destroyed. Slowly, arrogantly, keeping to the ground, daring the king's men to follow, they rode off toward the forests beyond the farmlands. King Henry's grief-stricken subjects returned in silence to their homes, thinking of the long, hungry winter they soon were to face. The meadow stood empty, the wine barrels lying alone. unattended under the dark sky. Soon after, the wizard and the warrior were summoned to the king's chambers. "Men who can tame winged dragons and ride them to battle," the king exclaimed sadly, shaking his head. "I have never seen or heard such a thing in all my journeys." "If the dragons can be tamed by men, they can be tamed by us," the warrior said firmly. "Once the dragons have been defeated, the dragon riders can be beaten as well." The wizard nodded agreement. "I must rely on you," the king said. "If the crops of the Southlands are destroyed, none of us will survive the winter. You must follow these dragon riders. You must learn their secrets, and in learning their secrets, discover a way to destroy them. This must be done before they can attack again." "Excellency," said the warrior, "we will not fail you." And thus the tale begins. The story now becomes your story, my story, our story. The mission becomes your mission, my mission, your mission. The time has come for you to choose the role you wish to play. Will you take the part of wizard or the warrior? Make your choice.